Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel Cloudtechs Club. Today I am introducing brand new series on monitoring tools like Prometheus, Grafana, Nagios and so on in the DevOps toolkit. This series is designed to take you from foundational concepts to advanced techniques, offering a practical approach. Let's deep dive into today's topic, an introduction to Prometheus and Grafana, powerful and widely used monitoring tools. So, Prometheus is a tool that helps you keep an eye on your infrastructure devices like servers or networking devices to make sure everything is running smoothly. Now, when I say infrastructure devices, I'm talking about major things like servers, switches, operating systems, applications, and so on. Prometheus can track what's happening on servers, things like how much CPU is being used, how much memory is left, how full the hard drives are, how much data is going in and out of the network, and more. To monitor network devices, we use something called SNMP exporters. Think of it as a helper that knows how to talk to these devices and get their data. We also have another important agent called node exporter. This one sits on each server and collects all the key information like CPU, memory, and disk usage. It's like Prometheus' little assistant on every system. Prometheus needs just one server where it runs. That server collects data from all the systems it monitors, the ones that have node exporters installed. All the setup and configuration for this is written in the simple text called prometheus.yaml, which is written in something called YAML format, but don't worry, it's pretty much straightforward. The Prometheus server also gives you the web interface to check on everything like what data is being collected and which systems are being monitored. But if you want cool, easy to read graphs and dashboards, we use Grafana. Grafana takes the data from Prometheus and makes it look amazing. It's best tool out there to visualize Prometheus metrics. So in short, we can say Prometheus monitors the node exporters and SNMP exporter collects the data and Grafana shows it beautifully on the dashboards. Now let's move on to the complex architecture of Prometheus and let's see how the things works here. So the Prometheus server has three main components that helps in performing monitoring effectively. One is retrieval, another one is the TSDB, the third one is the HTTP server. So retrieval, this part is responsible for collecting data. It connects to all the target systems, which we can see here, the Prometheus targets and devices we want to monitor the important stats like CPU usage, memory, network traffic which is going in and out. Next is TSDB, which is time series database. This is where all the data is stored. Think of it like a smart diary that keeps track of how each system's performance change over time. So we can go back and see what happened yesterday, last week, or even the last month. One important thing to understand here is database Prometheus uses, the time series database is a bit different from traditional databases like MySQL or Oracle. In traditional databases, we store data in rows and tables like a spreadsheet. But in Prometheus, data is stored in a time series format. It records values over time. For example, it keeps the track of CPU usage every 15 seconds, every minute, and so on. Another one is the HTTP server. This component gives us web interface, basically a website, where we can go and check all the data Prometheus has collected. It allows us to run the query, check the current status of the systems, and so on. Next is Prometheus Web UI, which connects to Prometheus server using something called PromQL, which is Prometheus query language. You can think PromQL like a search tool, which allows you to ask questions and get specific data from the Prometheus server. For example, you can say what was the CPU usage on particular server over the past hour. You can check the memory usage across all the servers at the same time. So it's not just a Prometheus web UI, which uses the PromQL. You can also connect Grafana or even custom API clients to Prometheus using the PromQL. Garfana uses PromQL behind the scenes to fetch the data. It needs to create those customized dashboards and charts. And if you're building your own tools or scripts, you can use PromQL in your code to pull data from Prometheus through the API clients. So PromQL is a common language that all these tools use to talk to Prometheus and get the data they need. Next, let's discuss about the Prometheus alerting. So Prometheus can also send alerts to the different platforms like PagerDuty, email, Telegram. So Prometheus itself don't directly send the alerts. It uses a special component called Alertmanager. So Prometheus keeps checking all the metrics and matches them against alerting rules. If certain condition is met, like CPU usage is going beyond 90%, Prometheus triggers an alert. Now, this alert will be passed over to the alert manager, and it's alert manager job to send it to the right place. Whether it's an email or it's going to send it over to the PagerDuty, it depends completely how it's been configured for the notification system. Now, you might be wondering where all these alerting rules are configured. This is done within the Prometheus server itself within the configuration files. Now, when we create alerting rules like send an alert, the CPU usage go beyond 90% or 80%, we add those rules in the Prometheus configuration. Then Prometheus exactly knows what to watch for if a certain condition arises. Don't worry, we will go through this in detail when we will do the hands-on part. I will show you exactly how to write and set up these rules step by step. Now let's talk about something called service discovery. So once you install agents like Node Exporter on all your target systems, Prometheus needs to know where exactly those systems are installed so it can start collecting data or stats from them by using the component called retrieval. Basically, there are two ways to perform this. One is static configuration, another one is the service discovery. So static configuration, basically a manual way. You can directly list the IP addresses and the host names of the target machines you want to monitor in the Prometheus configuration file, which is a YAML file. It works fine for the small setups, but if your environment is big or keeps changing, it becomes problematic. So the solution is to go with the service discovery. This is basically an automated way. Prometheus can automatically find and monitor systems. It can detect when a new server comes online or when one is removed without you to update the configuration file manually. One more important point I would like to discuss where the time series database using the disk. All the monitoring data is stored locally within the Prometheus server. Now, because this data is written and read very frequently, speed really matters here. That's why it is recommended to use fast storage like SSD or NVMe drives instead of traditional hard drives. SSD and NVMe's are much more faster these days. They help Prometheus perform better, especially when dealing with larger amount of data and when performing the query for the historical metrics. Let's go over a few key features of Prometheus. So the first one is multi-dimensional data model. So Prometheus stores metrics in key value pairs. We will explore this more deeply in the hands-on session. But for now, just remember everything Prometheus collects is saved in its local time series database, and each piece of data has a key and a value. Another one is the PromQL, the Prometheus query language. We have already touched base on this earlier. The Prometheus web UI uses PromQL to get data from the server, and tools like Garfana or even our own custom apps can use PromQL to query Prometheus server. Another one is the pull based metric collection. So Prometheus uses HTTP pull model. That means Prometheus reaches out to its agents like node exporters, which is installed on target machines, and pulls the data from them. It doesn't wait for the data to come in. It goes out and gets it on a regular schedule. Next one is the push support via push gateway. This is basically done for monitoring the batch processes. Next is service discovery and static configuration. So service discovery, where Prometheus automatically finds the target machines, especially in cloud or dynamic environments, and static configuration, where you define manually within the Prometheus configuration files. And finally, visualization and integration. Prometheus supports multiple ways to create dashboards and graphs. You can use Garfana for rich and interactive dashboards. You can also build your custom web applications, or also you can connect API clients for full control or performing the scripts. So this provides flexibility, makes it easy to visualize and interact with the monitoring data in a way that fits your needs. Let's go ahead and see the quick installation of Prometheus within Lab. This is the official website for Prometheus. We are going to use it for our installation purpose. There are a few additional steps which I am going to perform within the lab. I will update those within my blog channel or within the video description. You can take it up from there. For downloading the Prometheus, we can go over to this link. We are going to install it on Linux, so I'm going to use this particular file. I'll just copy the copy link description. There are other files as well, the Alertmanager and the rest of the exporters which work as an agent, which we are going to see in our next lectures. Very important one is the node exporter, which we are going to perform the installation over our machines, which we have to perform the monitoring. Okay, let's proceed with the lab. I'm going to open the lab here. I'm going to write wcat and link for downloading the Prometheus. Let's see the file downloaded successfully. So I can see the Prometheus 2.534 got downloaded successfully. First, let's add the Prometheus user with the help of a command user add. Now let's create directory Prometheus under the /etc and /var lib and perform the change in ownership. We can use these commands to create those files and change the ownership. Alice. Now let's untar or extract this particular file which we downloaded earlier. For this we will use the tar-xv app and file name. So it's extracting all the files from it. Now let's rename this particular file. Now copy Prometheus and PromTool binary files to USR local bin. Now let's copy the console and console libraries to etc Prometheus. Now let's configure the Prometheus configuration file for Prometheus to monitor itself. So this is the file, prometheus.yaml. I'm going to write the same contents. Let's have the server IP of the Prometheus server itself, 192.168.0.113. This needs to be global. Now let me show you the contents of this file one more time. Cat etc prometheus prometheus.yml. Okay. Now let's change the ownership of the Prometheus configuration file so that it can become executable. Next, update the service which we will use to start the Prometheus. We will go inside one of the services file. Now I will update the contents. You can use the same contents what I am using here. This needs to be unit. Let me show you the contents of this file one more time. Let's start the services here and open the Prometheus within the web console. System ctl daemon reload, system ctl start Prometheus. Don't worry, I will provide you all these commands within my blog post or within my GitHub repository. So we can see the status is active now. Let's see the IP address of this. This is 192.168.0.113. I'll just copy it. We'll go to the web console. Going to open this within the web. 9090 is the port number where the Prometheus is working. Okay, great. Now the Prometheus is enabled. We can write the queries here to process, you can get n number of information. So right now it is monitoring itself over the port 9090 and 192.168.0.113 is the IP of the self machine of the Prometheus server itself. So that's all for now. In the next lecture, we will discuss the node exporters for Prometheus. So stay tuned for the latest videos. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.